The Green Bay Packers fall to the Chicago Bears 31-27. And I mean, look, heading into this one, the season was split 1-1, but the Packers never trailed until that final play in overtime. Time of possession, the Packers had all of it in the regular season for time of possession leading, right?
Yeah.
Bears score the first field goal in this game. They kind of changed that narrative, but then it was the Packers for a while until the fourth quarter. It was all Green Bay. Jordan Love, 4 touchdown passes. He ties Aaron Rodgers and Bart Starr for most touchdown passes as a Green Bay Packer in postseason history. All those conversations about, is Jordan Love the guy? Are they going to switch it to Malik Willis in the offseason? Is Jordan Love, is he too much money for the Green Bay Packers? I think he silenced them in this game, even with the loss. 323, 4 touchdowns, did pretty good in this one. Didn't have any help in the running game. When you need help in the running game in a cold spot in the NFC North, only 99 yards rushing. Josh Jacobs was nowhere to be found. Matthew Golden gets his first playoff touchdown. Romeo Doubs has a good play. 4 touchdowns from this receiving core. And this is a receiving, This is a receiving core that a lot of people have questioned over the year. Jordan Love gets it done until he doesn't get it done. Until Ben Johnson, until Caleb Williams steps up. Caleb Williams makes some excellent throws towards the end of this football game. They turned things around. They didn't have a great rushing game as well. Chicago's defense, I thought, stood on their head. They win this game, just like they did in crazy fashion a couple Saturdays ago as well in Green Bay. They win this one 31-27 to move on. A lot of questions for Green Bay this offseason, but first let's talk about this football game.
31 points for the Bears, 25 in the fourth quarter.
Wild.
I mean, insane. If you're a Packers fan, you're going into this fourth quarter, who do we have next week? What's going on in the rest of the NFC? I mean, where are we going? What's the actual next play for this Packers team? You're not even considering the fact that your season might be over, and yet Caleb Williams and company are ready. And what's crazy is when you watch this game back, because you watched it the first time and you think about it one way, when you watch it back, there really wasn't a whole lot of reason to believe in the Bears here. I mean, I was just rooting for the Bears because, I love rooting for the underdog. But how many times did they fall short on fourth down prior to really the fourth quarter? Obviously, Caleb Williams made a huge play. I believe it was a 4th and 8. But up until that point, the Bears were ultra aggressive and failed multiple times on fourth downs, which led to Packers touchdowns, led to, missed points, leaving points on the board. So there wasn't a whole lot of reason to be excited or hopeful for the Bears offense. And they found a way to score 25 points. It was incredible. Caleb Williams really kind of answered. And you talk about Jordan Love answering the bell and saying, I'm the guy. Moving forward, I'm the franchise guy. Caleb Williams, I felt like, did that especially in the fourth quarter. Made a few huge plays, couple with his legs, and more so with his arm, a couple of really great throws. This was a super fun one to actually watch, to witness, to see the comeback. But it does kind of give the Bears that vibe of we're not done. Game's not over till it hits zeros. I was shocked by Caleb Williams' performance in the fourth quarter here after what had happened in the 3 quarters prior. DeAndre Swift, I thought, was impressive, made a few big plays down the stretch. And this Chicago defense obviously is the reason in that fourth quarter. If the Packers score any more times than they did, obviously a touchdown, I believe, is a missed extra point, and then they did have to rely on a missed field goal as well. But this was a huge win for the Bears in a lot of different respects, and I think this is the momentum you get from a win like this is unable to be charted, and you have to look out if you're the Rams.
Yeah, and you have to. I don't think you could give any hate towards Jordan Love in this one. I really don't.
No, I don't.
I think so. Jordan Love did everything he needed to do, and everything else just didn't fall in his way. We have to bring up the fact that Brandon McManus left 7 points on the table. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point. Those 7 points win you the football game. You lost by 4. It changes the entire way that fourth quarter probably looks. You missed 2 field goals and an extra point. I mean, just alone, if the game exactly happens the same way, which obviously that's not the case, would have been, but that's a 34-31 final.
They didn't get a single point from a field goal in that game.
No, they missed 7 points. 7 points on the table because Brandon McManus couldn't hit one. I mean, this is the fourth quarter alone. Field goal by the Bears, punt by the Packers, a touchdown by the Bears. Green Bay got a touchdown. Touchdown by the Bears. Missed field goal, touchdown by the Bears, end of game. I mean, that's it. They just couldn't get it done, especially even in the fourth quarter. Even when the Packers were leading, they were leading 21-6 going into the fourth quarter. They lose 31-27. Insane stuff. I brought this up to you on social media. I think we were texting back and forth. Actually, maybe it wasn't on socials during this game. And I asked you a question, and it was around halftime of the game. I said,
I remember this.
What are we getting? What narrative are we getting from this game? Are we getting that Caleb Williams is not ready for the moment? That we've been talking about this back and forth, kind of had this moment. He had those moments at USC where we're like, okay, maybe he's not ready for the big moment. Ben Johnson comes in, tries to revive this offense. They build the trenches really deep. But is Caleb Williams not ready? Or has he arrived? I think we found in the fourth quarter that moment actually happened. I think we found an equilibrium point. I think we found it. Caleb Williams has arrived.
Hey, quick timeout. If you haven't already, hit subscribe down below. We're live literally every morning during the week talking about the biggest stories in sports. So you hitting subscribe is completely free and helps us out more than you know. It's a win-win all around. All right, back to the clip. I texted you back, and I will be completely transparent. I said, I don't think he's going to answer the call. I mean, this is a huge task to overcome. And really, the Bears haven't looked great up until this point. It would take almost unprecedented, kind of swing here. Like it would be unbelievable if that happens. I hope it does, but I just don't think it will. And it proceeded to happen. I could not believe it, the way that everything was working out for the Bears. And then that touchdown late, I thought, okay, the Packers are actually they have enough of a lead. All you have to do is kind of just hold them off, hold the Bears away, kind of stick that arm out against the 4-year-old. Like, yeah, you're not going to be swinging against me, kid. My arm's way longer than you. No, they couldn't do it. They scored, but then they missed the field goal. And I talked about the Bears defense, and it's worth noting the Packers had a real shot. Weren't they on like the 28-yard line or something like that before the last play? They had a legit. This was not a throw it up and pray Hail Mary. You can kind of run a play from where they were at to end this game. I was impressed by Caleb Williams and more so this entire Bears team for not giving up, because it looked so bleak. It looked so like unwinnable. And yet 31-27, the final score, the Bears win it. And at home too. If you are somehow miraculously, I don't feel like this is impossible. If you are a Bears and a Hoosiers fan right now, you have to be wondering, like, is this even real life? Like a home playoff win for the Bears and the Hoosiers are in the national championship. This was an incredible game from the Bears and Caleb Williams. I do think he's a legitimate quarterback moving forward. There have been a lot of question marks around him. I think he answered those. He can win the big one. He can make the big plays. There's a couple times in there I'd love to see, maybe a different thing play out a different way. But man, did he get it done? And I mean, that's all you can really ask for, man.
Early Monday morning, Adam Scheffler reports that the Packers are now expected to try to work out a deal in the coming days to keep head coach Matt Lafleur in Green Bay. He said he currently has 1 year remaining on his contract. Both sides want clarity moving forward. The wording here makes me a little interested. Expected to try to work out a deal, and both sides want clarity moving forward. That's two things that I'm really paying attention to on this one. Obviously, Lafleur has had a great career in Green Bay so far this season. Obviously, there's been some issues with winning playoff games, especially the last woes. Recency bias is definitely a thing. Work out a deal. There's a lot of openings in the NFL right now. 25% of the NFL teams are looking for a new head coach. When you think about a head coach saying he's trying to work out a deal, you have 1 year left on your contract. Does this scream a potential mutual parting of Matt Lafleur maybe thinking about moving on and going a different direction, trying to find a new team? Or is this actually, okay, the Green Bay Packers, they need to solidify him in the long run? I think personally that you don't let Lafleur hit the market.
I don't think you can do that if you're Green Bay, but I think if you're Lafleur, you have to understand where they're at. They're going to probably choose the quarterback over you. And if it comes down to just a difference of opinion, you've got to be ready to move on. I think if you're Lafleur, you're exploring all options right now. And that's why it says, the way it reads is like, they're going to try to come to, what'd you say? Like the understand each other or whatever, that part where there are literally
clarity moving forward.
Page. Yeah. Clarity is important here. And so I don't want to come out and say that there's no way that Lafleur is the head coach next season, but I think it really comes down to the Packers feel like a semi-logical institution to me. I think that they're going to think this through. And I think they're going to understand what's best for both parties here. The Packers and Lafleur have been a decent mix, but they haven't exactly, achieved what I think a lot of Packers fans want. And I think that they're going to have to take a real deep dive, a real look at what's the roster look like? What does next season look like? What's the expectation? All of that. Be ready, I think, for Packers fans to not have Lafleur. I think there's a real chance where he moves on and tries his luck somewhere else.
Wild stuff happening. The Packers, obviously out of the playoffs. A lot of questions that happened with Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur this offseason. Malik Willis probably looking for a new job as well because what he did in the second half of the season. A lot of questions happening for the Green Bay Packers. On the flip side, the Bears will take on the Rams. That's going to be an interesting game in Chicago. Should be a fun game as well. NFC divisional round should be really good.
Hey, just wanted to thank you for watching the entire video. If you haven't already, consider hitting subscribe down below. It helps the channel grow and helps us bring better content to you guys every single day. We're live literally every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 Eastern talking about the biggest stories in sports. So if you haven't dropped by, you really should. We love interacting with chatters, hearing your guys' opinions. You could easily become a part of the show. So hit subscribe and tell a friend. I'll see you in the morning.